Welcome to Mary Queen Stories, the official podcast of Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary Parish in Lexington, Kentucky. Our mission is to receive God's love, proclaim the greatness of the Lord, serve joyfully, and make missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. I'm your host, Jennifer Longworth, Communications and Parish Life Coordinator at Mary Queen. Today, my guest on Mary Queen Stories is Ginny Ramsey of the Catholic Action Center. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here.
So tell us about the Catholic Action Center. What's your mission? Why do you exist?
Wow. Well, we are 27 years old, and this is an effort that was begun. Judy McLaughlin and I were co-founders, and I'm now the director. But we go back all those years when there was obviously a gap of services for people who were experiencing homelessness in Lexington. We didn't know what we were doing, but we knew that we were called to do it. We knew that the gospel was very clear that we do need to care for our brothers and sisters in need. We are a faith-based grassroots as you can get effort. And we take no federal, state, local funds. That is very important because if we did, we would be excluding many of our brothers and sisters who need the services, who need to have that care. We're not there to judge the people. We're there to live out the gospel. And it's an opportunity for people to be involved. That's an important part, is that it gives the opportunity for people to live their faith. We have served over 12 million meals since we opened, all donated, many by Mary Queen parishioners who have been just a pillar with the center. When we began, the groups bringing meals once a month or once a week or whenever they could, Mary Queen was one of the first ones to sign up, and that would have been back in 2000. So that's a few years ago.
Yeah.
But so we don't have a budget, because we are faith-based literally, and that's been difficult because we count on the community support. We count on the donations of food. We count on the donations of people preparing the food for us. We count on financial donations to be able to pay the expenses. But we're all volunteers. So our expenses are pretty amazing when people see the dollars and cents we have to spend. It's very low. They can't believe we do what we do, but it's because the generosity of people helps us cover all expenses. The generosity of people giving their time and their efforts to caring for the least of our brothers and sisters here in Lexington. We also have had over 2.8 million nights of shelter.
Wow.
And that's a very important piece because when we talk about people needing to shelter, you're talking about security. You're talking about all kinds of elements, not just those with the weather. So we've been blessed since 2017 to have the new center on Industry Road, where we have 111 beds. And we're not an emergency shelter. We're a community. We're a community of people. Mainly, we're focusing now on our elderly and disabled because there are no places they can go. And so we have made the space that this is our mission for our beds, is to care for the elderly and the disabled. We have our Give Kids a Home program for families because we cannot take children.
Right.
So that's what prompted our Give Kids a Home when we were seeing the number of families that were left out there, and we can't take them at the Catholic Action Center. But we've been blessed. I mean, it's a community of people who are just on the road to wholeness. And we all are. As I always tell the folks, everybody who walks through our doors is broken, and that includes us. We all have to count on our faith. We all have to give, the credit where it belongs, which is not with us. People will say, oh, you all have done this for so long. It's so wonderful. No, this is a joy. For me, it's a joy to be able to live out of my faith and to just see the amazing works that God will do if we give him a chance. It's quite a journey. And I would say that if you and I had this conversation 27 years ago, we would have said, well, we're going to be open from 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, 5 days a week. We plan to solve homelessness within three years.
3 years. Wow.
Well, Judy and I realized that wasn't the way it worked.
Right.
We met the people, we learned of their needs, and we all became a community together.
So how many people do you have volunteering on a daily basis, would you say?
Well, we have our core volunteers.
Okay.
And that's a staff of about, totally, when I count them all, I guess we have 18 to 20.
Okay.
That's taking care of daily things. Now, because after COVID, we have had to cut back on our volunteers in the center, even to the place of only a few organizations are serving food at all, one of them being Mary Queen, because they've done it forever. We really actually have most of them bring and we serve, because we have so many elderly and disabled. We have so many people whose health is so fragile. It's like it's like a nursing home. Nursing homes normally won't let volunteers come in and serve because they'll let people visit, but you've got to be so careful with everyone's health. That's where we are with it. And, we're blessed. I mean, we couldn't have done any of this for 27 years, because we started it 2 years before we opened the center. We had the Faith and Community Christmas store, which Mary Queen was a huge part of always. What ended up killing it for us? COVID. Now, we did alternative Christmas giving, and we still do. And we envelop our McKinney-Vento kids from the Give Kids a Home program. McKinney-Vento is the Fayette County Public School program, which is a federal program that addresses the needs of homeless children in the school. Right now, there's 779 kids in Fayette County today who are homeless. They go to school every day but don't have a place to go home. So it visited the Christmas store and turned it into the Sharing God's Love at Christmas with our McKinney-Vento children, which this past year there were 680, I think, at Christmas. So it was a beautiful thing. And there are different ways. We've got one thing we always would say is we're flexible. We can be flexible because we're not attached to all the grant funding. That stops you from being able to serve who you need to serve when you need to serve them. But we also do things like when we see there's a gap. That was the purpose of the Catholic Action Center opening. When there's a gap, we try to fill that gap. We do not duplicate. Like our Give Kids a Home program is so different. It's transitional housing. The families that we call resident partners, they're part of the program. They're required to give 20% of their income toward the cost of their housing, because when they're in the real world, by the time we get them there, they'll have to be giving 30 to 50%.
Right.
So having them have a stake in it, we have found, is so important.
Yeah.
I mean, now, they come to us with nothing, everything's covered. But their journey is that within so many weeks, they get work, the work they can do, that we get their disability payments started. We do whatever it takes, but we're walking them to not only their wholeness, but for them to the responsibility of their household, which we find is very important. Over the years, we have seen the differences of programs that are they just getting free housing? Then there's no motivation. When it's part of us with them, with our connectors and our people who are working with them, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
So let me ask you about the Dignity Station as well. It's something you all do. So can you tell me a little bit about the Dignity Station?
Well, it's a real sad thing when people can't take showers or have their clothes washed or whatever. And the Catholic Action Center can't be open to everybody coming in and doing it. So again, we thought, how can we address this situation? Because at any given day, there are between 800 and 1,500 people sleeping on our streets. And that's any given day. So they need, the dignity of a place to get their clothes washed, to take a shower, to use the restroom. So we looked at different things that were going on all around the country, and we saw that there were some really successful programs that are similar to the Dignity Station. They're mobile. Now, what we've done is we've set it up 3 days a week, and we're at certain places 3 days a week. Everyone knows to come. We have the clothing, we have the support services. Each one of them is located where people can actually connect with a case manager. But I would like to say that the Dignity Station does just that. It gives people dignity. It gives people connection. We call our folks who volunteer with that as our radical connectors, because it's quite a radical thing to do when people they may come in angry, everything, embarrassed. We just have to work from that position of dignity. Everyone is a child of God, and even if they're dirty and even if they are angry over their situation, we've got to let them know that there's love and there are people who care.
Yeah.
So we have food as well as supplies at the Dignity Station, and we had right at 3,500 people served last season. Our season goes from sometime in May, depending on weather, until the end of October, because there's no way that it can be out in a lot of inclement weather. That's the sad part, but it serves its purpose and spreads that dignity during that time.
Another ministry I'm familiar with the Catholic Action Center, is your sandwiches. And I see on Facebook that you're frequently recruiting groups to do sandwiches. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the sandwich ministry is very, very important. Number one, we not only do we have soup and sandwiches at the center, but we serve meals out of our kitchen door, 3 meals a day, for those who aren't fortunate enough to have a bed at the center. And we serve anywhere between 60 and 100 meals a day just to those folks. Plus, we have the Compassionate Caravan that in inclement weather, whether it's too hot, too cold, when it's not just right, it goes out to give supplies and also food. Also for the Dignity Station, that's another way that we share the sandwiches. So we go through a lot of sandwiches. Now, when it's really bad weather, when things are really tough, such as this past winter, we had 196 people in hotel rooms for 15 nights because they would have frozen to death on the streets. So we used sandwiches and we used all kinds of food. We were making meals. We had over 3,700 meals were served to them, because you put them in a hotel room, that's great. You're going to keep them safe. But we had to get them food.
Yeah.
Both the sheriff's office and the police department helped with that. With this last ice storm, we couldn't get to all of our hotel rooms. We were able to triage folks and get them into the places that we could take care of them through the storm. And some of them we were able to get back to their families. And, it was a crazy time. And it always is when there are these emergencies. I mean, we would have had 196 people left out there because every shelter was full. The winter shelter the city opened was full. There was no place for these folks. And we said, we can't go home and forget this, because and every winter we usually have a little bleep where we have to fill in. But this was a big fill in, 196 folks. Sadly, we lost 3 of our friends on the streets during that time. There could be more that they'll find as time passes, but there were 3 definitely who basically froze to death on the streets. And we don't want that ever to happen, ever. It's heartbreaking, because they're our brothers and they're our sisters.
So how can people get involved if what you're saying is resonating? They say, wow, this is something I really want to be a part of.
I'd say, first of all, go to our website.
Okay.
Look at all the different things that are on there. we give different opportunities, whether it be the ones that seasonal or whether it be all the time, like sandwich ministry. There are different things that we have going that I even forget to say when we're sitting here talking. So I say, go on that, contact us, say, okay, I got this time between here and there, and I'd really like to do something. What do you all need? Because it's the rhythm of the seasons. Things change, the needs change.
Mm-hmm.
We're very excited that we're hoping that by this fall, we're going to have a medical respite in our building. We're partnering with Health First. So we're really excited about that. And that is going to be huge because our brothers and sisters who have no place to call home coming out of the hospital have got to have a place to have respite. Mm-hmm. And it's medical respite that we hope, and we're going to need a lot of different kinds of help on that, getting ready for it, as well as after it starts, what is needed to, for the program.
What is your website?
CatholicActionCenter.net.
All right, that's easy enough. Mm-hmm. So the question that I ask all my podcast guests is, what part of the Mary Queen mission statement resonates with you the most? And as a reminder, that is receive God's love, proclaim the greatness of the Lord, serve joyfully, and make missionary disciples of Jesus Christ. So which one of those sticks out?
Well, I think, first of all, we all have to receive God's love. It has to come into us so that we can share it and become the sharing of his love, so that we can serve joyfully, because there's no greater joy than being able to serve. I can attest to that. When we come from God's love, without his love, it's empty.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Ginny.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And God bless Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Mary Queen Stories. To connect with us, visit mqhr.org/podcast. Until next time, and always, Mary Queen of the Holy Rosary, pray for us.